Yes.
Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late, dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate, else to win, running laps again. This is steady race, people's champ, boy. Yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late, dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate, else to win, running laps again. This is steady race, people's champ, boy. Yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
You know I had two in the chamber. What's going on, y'all? It is episode 71. We are coming to you Tuesday, January 10th. I am your host, the 5XL Assassin, the Diabolical Diabetic, your boy, the Big Nasty. And to my right is the High Yellow Hitman, the freaking Deacon Coach Buck, my man, Uncle Raisin. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I ain't gonna front. It's been a rough couple days.
Mm-hmm.
It's too early in the year for people to be trying my patience.
Mm-hmm.
I almost told myself I had time today, but I'm telling myself I don't have time for people today.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna let them have their moments, do what thinks they makes them feel good, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm just hoping this don't build up to like a mid-year check season because
I mean, we can still get it done in the first quarter. Like, you know what I mean? It don't have to make it to mid-year.
Listen. I'm turning over a new leaf.
I'm just saying, it's like you've been a coach for quite some time. Like sometimes you can tell early on in the game whether you need to make a sub or
Where
not.
you need to make a sub or
Right.
burn a timeout.
If we got to burn a timeout because it's like, we need to make sure everybody gets regulated.
Or do I need to get a tech right quick to let these refs know that I mean business, right?
Yeah, you gotta set the tone.
I set the tone, right?
Yeah.
I think for now I'm just gonna take a timeout.
Okay.
All right. I like that. I like this basketball reference.
I mean, we got to bring it back so much.
Listen.
This isn't the therapy bros. So it's like, it's the heavyweight bros. So it's like, you got to get into it one way or another.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Today, I got to give a special shout out. It is my young brother, Dom Whitley's birthday.
Hey.
My man just turned dirty 30 from Whitley's Home Improvement. So it's like, I got to give a special birthday shout out to my bands for that. I know that like this episode is going to be a bit light because we don't have any new albums. There's only a couple shows that are even back in rotation.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some movies and like we're a little bit light on basketball. Like I'm wondering if we're even going to get to the playground at all. So it's like, I know we're a bit short today, so there will be no digging in the crates, but we are going to go straight into Insomnia Hour.
Okay, I'm with that. I'm sending your brother a birthday wish mid-pod. So now he has the message and he has the recording. I love it. Cumpleaños feliz.
Wake me up!
I knew that was coming.
What are up with all the...
Right on time. I love it. All right, I'm sorry. My bad. All right, so listen. Do you want me to take the lead on this? Because I know you don't be watching TV.
Go for it. Let's see it. Let's see what you got.
I feel like that's... I don't know what that was layered with, but it was layered with something.
I'm just calling it bluff. That's all it is.
Okay, all right. So first up, I'll leave that last because I know that's something that we could talk about, like how you do with me with the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Tell somebody else to do their homework. I seen y'all in the comments. Do your homework, Reason.
Are you telling me to do my homework on a show that I already watched and you just watched, and now we could talk about it 2 weeks after I already watched it?
Nope, I got all new stuff for you. All right, so first things first. I love it. He's always ready. I never can get that one pass. I'm gonna start with Tulsa King.
Okay.
All right, so I've been really heavy on the Tulsa King, Sly, and some of the new actors that they have in there.
It's weekly at this point now, right? Like it's not it's not all bingeable.
No. It's still weekly. Just to give a quick recap, Sly Stallone is like a mobster who went to prison for a murder. He did all of like 18 years. He comes out, mind you, he's like 50 when he went in or something crazy like that.
Just put me with the fishes.
Right. So he comes back. So the mob organization still is in existence, but of course all of the OGs that was there when he was there now, like their children are the ones, and they're trying to press him out of the mob. They sent him to Oklahoma. I think that's where Tulsa is.
That sounds about right.
All right, so I'm gonna say they sent him to Oklahoma to say, we want you to go out here, have your own town, and start earning out there, which is basically like saying we don't want you around here no more. And I mean, especially after you just did 18 years for y'all.
And it's like the thing too where they give you like BS, a thing where it's like we don't care about this, so it's like it's great if you do,
right?
But we're more likely you're not going to be able to make it.
Right.
Okay.
So, some of the people that you may remember in the show is, of course, Sylvester Stallone, the police officer from The Wire. He has hair on his head now.
Talk about Herc or Carver?
Herc.
Okay.
Herc. In this last couple episodes, he took the wig off, which was pretty dope.
He like legit had a wig on?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. But it's a pretty good show. I will sadly say that the last episode was very uneventful.
We are on what episode?
9, I believe.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so it might be a few more episodes, unless they cap it off at 10 for the season. But I believe this was episode 9, so this is like the showdown episode if you want to like build up to your season finale.
I would say, do we have like a quick, like if you could give a preamble to like what we're getting ready to go into, like what did we get from episode 9?
Yeah, so Sly Stallone, after they feel like he's not about to go to Oklahoma and Tulsa and just wither away like a dinosaur or something, he actually starts earning out there. He builds some relationships. Of course, with that comes beef and territory wars, and him and his ragtag group of like misfits. It's almost like a gang. Like Bad News Bear style, or like the bench warmers. Yeah. But it's like he took this group of people who are not about that action, or as the young kids say, are not shiesty. I learned that.
Is that how they're using it? Like, yes. I feel like, all right, go ahead. Just
they walk around with the mask and they be telling each other, "You're not shiesty." I'm like, none of y'all are shiesty, but whatever. We digress. But basically, the rival in the TV show becomes this motorcycle gang, and the motorcycle gang is coming at Sylvester Stallone and his group. And
do they have a name for their group? Like, are they called like the Avengers?
Because if they had a name for their group, matter of fact, I think they
Friends.
It's like the
Tulsa Titans,
the Bad Boys. I don't remember. I'm hoping they don't have a name, and I'm hoping I just missed it. But no, it's like when if you were to ever watch this show and see what their group of thugs are, you would be like, I would house this group. But either way, they get into this big.
The Parker Street Players could take this group up.
Yeah, for real. But it's like they get into this big altercation with the motorcycle gang, and then they go back and forth. And then some people come on top, some people don't. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that's choosing to watch it, but I will say that the last episode was, I don't want to say uneventful, but it just wasn't entertaining. Like it's just like the final. I won't say the final scene, but like the build up for that episode was very. This is getting annoying.
Look, there's 30 stopwatches there.
I don't know what's going on though.
Why don't you give me that while you keep explaining that? And I'm gonna see if I can figure this out.
Throw this away. All right, sorry.
Because then it's gonna be.
I got stopwatches and them joints is beeping all over the place.
All right.
But so yeah, it's just like it was like the main scene for that episode was kind of like. I feel like it was lazy writing, and I know we say that sometimes, but it was just like it was almost kind of like, let's get through this. I'm hoping that preemptively leads to a bigger finale, but it's just like the motorcycle group, not to spoil, but the motorcycle group pulls up, and all of a sudden I hear in the background, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. And
the Phil Collins call is
right. It's not a good. It has this little slow mo going on with his knobby old man, but still I lift weights, shoulders, and I'm just like, this ain't it, fam. This ain't it. And then the stuff that they're doing, I'm just like, come on, fam. Like, come on, fam. Like,
there's a lot of come on, fam.
Yeah. Like, it was like a whole 5 minutes of like, really? Like, come on. Like, all right now. Like, ain't nobody getting choked out. Ain't nobody at the brink of end of their life before somebody comes and saves them. Y'all just all dogs. It's just all dogs. So I just like, I wasn't too big on this episode, but it is an entertaining TV show.
Yeah.
So I think for me, the season finale will decide whether or not I decide to watch season 2 if it gets picked up.
It's honestly, that's how weak. Is episode 9 the worst episode?
Yes.
It was that weak to the point where you're just like, oof, I might not continue this period.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Definitely.
Okay.
So, I mean, other people may have different thoughts, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right. Have you tried watching it? No, you didn't get to it, right?
No, I haven't gotten to it yet. I've been watching a lot of movies. Like, if I'm being honest.
I got you. Do you have any TV shows that's like really rock? Because it's been a big break right now.
I've been finishing up a lot of shows that I haven't seen. A lot of the shows are also anime.
Okay.
And it's like, I know that like we don't talk about them very much on here. So it's like, I've been trying to.
We can.
I mean,
if you throw me an anime, because I'm waiting for Vinland Saga to come back out on Monday.
Apparently it's already coming back.
So if you threw me something, you know what I mean? I'll look into it. Yeah, I don't want to disregard our anime fans because I know they out there.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is just like, I can watch a show and be like, yeah, don't nobody need to hear about this, but I'll watch it and I'm like, it's enjoyable
this
for
one
me.
Just for me.
Yeah, like just for me. I find this enjoyable, but I don't want to tell nobody about. Like, there's no conversation to be had.
That's like my aunt.
Like, for instance, like for those who do watch it, like Netflix, it's a Netflix anime, but it's called The Way of the House Husband, and it's not a very eventful show, but it is like it's a great. I'm about to put some food on. I'm about to watch something real quick.
I have a perfect name for shows like that. I'm gonna call them the blueberry pie.
Why?
Nobody in my house eats blueberry pie but Shinari. He will house a whole blueberry pie by himself. So like he literally gets excited when the blueberry pie shows up to like Thanksgiving or Christmas because he knows none of us are gonna eat it.
Why do people keep making it?
Because my aunt knows that he likes it, so she brings the banana pudding and the strawberry cheesecake.
Okay, all right. So she's showing out.
Yeah, she brings everything.
Okay,
my cousin brings a bunch of desserts, cookies, cupcakes, and stuff. But that blueberry pie always shows up, and everybody's like, "That's Shinari's." Nobody's about to eat that but him. So that's your blueberry pie.
I would definitely just mess up one piece every time, just to be like, "Oh, like actually, I'll have a slice," and like not eat it just so that he does that.
I might start doing that. Like, no, I want some. You don't
Blake
even
Griffin
eat this. I think I have a new palate. Nope, it's the same.
Try again next year.
That's hilarious.
New year, new me. Am I right, guys?
I love it. All right. Next we have BMF season 2, episode 1, and this is a week by week as well.
Okay.
I like where the first episode picks up.
Season 3.
Season 2.
Okay.
Season 2. So in this one, it's picking up from where the brothers that originally started BMF, which is Meech. I can't remember the other brother's name.
Big
right
Meech and Lil Meech?
No,
I know
that's
Lil
the
Meech.
father and son.
I know Lil Meech actually plays Big Meech.
Who's currently in someone's music video, but we'll get there on another day. But so they split, and the brother decides that he's not gonna hustle no more. He's gonna start like this chauffeur business with his dad, so they can get like legitimate earning and stuff like that. He's had a son recently, so he's trying to make sure to be a dad for his father and stuff like that. He had recently gotten shot like in the face, and he survived it. So he had a lot going on to give him a reason to step away. Meech is all about that, like, nah, this is what I'm doing. So he's trying to build like new ties to keep like his drug flow going and build like new relationships with other rival gangs so they can all get money together. And that's like where this starts at. If I could give you one guess of a new character that 50 added to this show, who would it be?
I'll give
you a couple hints.
I was going to say,
yep.
Because like if I was like that
from another 50 verse, she's a female. And for some reason, she keeps getting random parts that I don't know why they matter.
Random parts, female, black, and from another 50 show. Is it Tasha?
No. Tasha had a pretty prevalent part.
I was gonna say because like I was thinking of Snowfall, and I was like, oh, is it Wanda?
Oh no.
And I was like,
that's not 50 anyway.
I know. That's what I was saying.
Okay,
like I was thinking.
Got you.
I was stuck on Snowfall. No. You realize that I only watch Power, right?
Lala Anthony.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it's like, I'm watching the credits as it's coming on, and it said Lala Anthony. I'm like, what is Lala doing on this show? Sure enough, first episode, Lala comes walking in.
You want to know what's funny? I saw a tweet that someone wrote. It was like, you know how you know when your show's getting ready to die? Well, Lala's dying. And I didn't know that this is what show was talking about.
Tell me
I did not know that.
Don't tell me that. Yeah. That is hilarious. Lala's definitely on there. She was on the episode maybe like a good 3 different scenes. And I was like,
is she about to be a prevalent character? Keisha was prevalent in Power.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, to give Tommy
Keisha had her own storylines. Like yesterday, like she was with Tommy, but it's like
she was Tasha's friend, and then she was Tommy's girl.
Yeah, but like she had her own business. She had her own kid. Like she had like her own.
She had a business.
She had a family.
She had a business for Tasha to hustle on. She had a family that Tommy tried to adopt before they got torn apart by Tasha.
I mean, if
she
you're
was
gonna
a
do that,
third wheel in Tommy and Tasha's brother, sister, god parent.
I mean, if you do that, you can literally do that with everybody. Be like, oh, well, Tasha's not important. She's just Ghost's husband or Ghost's wife and Tommy's old friend, and like you could do that. But it's like she has a relationship.
Because Tasha was wild, and she had like another relationship, and she was doing dirt, and she was like
they almost got
bodying people.
Or like Keisha like saved Tommy like at one point. I can't believe that I'm talking about the Power.
I was like, you see how quiet I got? I was like, let me see what you're talking about right now.
Please finish talking about BMF.
Okay. So, the first episode, like I said, is just basically Meech trying to get a connect for a new pipeline and trying to bring other crews in to build what will become soon to be the BMF, because they haven't really made that prevalent announcement where we're like, we the Black Mafia family, because it's not like really this big family yet as it grows to become, but it's getting there.
Okay.
All right, next we have
out of Tulsa King and BMF is more of a must watch.
Yeah, I'm going with BMF over yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, yeah. For several reasons. All right. Next we have a mini series. Is that what they call them? They still call them mini series? It says limited time series on Netflix. Series. So limited series. For some reason, I thought this was going to be a TV show that continues to happen on Netflix, but it was not. It's none other than Kaleidoscope. And is
this the show where it's like you can watch it like in any order, or like you can pick and choose like the ending? So there's some gimmick with it, right?
Yes, that's what I have been told.
Okay.
And
wait, so you watched it not knowing there was a gimmick or anything like that?
No, I just watched it straight through because I didn't want the gimmicky stuff to be like, let me try and do this the gimmicky way. Like, no.
But like you didn't know that there was a gimmick while you were watching it.
No,
I'm asking.
No, I didn't know. I knew while I was watching it, but it wasn't until after I had already watched a few episodes.
Okay.
So like it was basically because I think I had sent you a post and you noticed it, and I didn't even notice it in the post that I sent you. I just liked the fact that it was a show and it had the Pollo Hermanos guy in it.
My boy Gus Fring?
Yes. So he's the main character.
Juan Carlos Esposito.
There you go. So Juan Carlos Esposito plays a convict, and he ends up going to jail behind him and his friend and a jewelry heist. So they're pulling the heist together. The heist goes awry. The friend gets away, and he ends up going to jail. And they're giving him like 20 years. This is a bit of. I don't say it's a spoiler because it's like. You got to know this to get to the story, so it's not really ruining anything. But long story short, he finds a way to escape from prison. And the rest of the Kaleidoscope episodes is him trying to get back at the friend who didn't get bagged. Because the way they separated at the jewelry heist was under an extreme amount of emotions and trauma to the point to where he feels slighted in a way. Mm-hmm. And now all these years that he's been behind bars, his friend has grown and blown up to this big, huge multi-millionaire.
Oh, shit. And
when he comes home, he wants nothing else but to get his revenge on that guy. It involves his daughter, who was, when he went away, she was maybe about 8 or 9 years old, and now she's a grown woman, and she actually works at the company that his friend now runs.
So what I'm trying to... There's 8 episodes?
8 episodes. They're about 45 minutes.
I'm trying to think like story-wise, how can you watch it in the way that they're saying
So you can do the gimmick if you want and just watch any episode because the way it is just like, even if you watched it straight through, you would feel like you're missing something and you would have to get to the next episode. So like you could watch the last episode and you'll be like, okay, I know everything, but I don't know how they got here, and then go backwards and it will still be the same thing. It's kind of like Pulp Fiction-y, I guess, if you would say, to say the least.
Let's be real careful. We'll talk about one of my favorite movies.
I'm not talking about in caliber of entertainment. I'm just saying as far as like the premise of jumping back and forth in the story in order to help put everything together. So you could watch it from any episode. But I mean, if you could do that, you can just watch it straight through and get the same experience.
Okay. I'm trying to think, like, it seems inconvenient. Like, why would anybody not watch it in order?
I don't know. I think it was just a reason to get some shock value.
But it's like,
kinda
you
when you
got
got an
Giancarlo Esposito. Like, that seems like all you need.
Exactly. So it's just like you about to release an album, but now you over here getting in a fight in the mall. So people be like, "Oh, you got to fight in the mall, and you got an album release." You know, them little buffers.
So it's for publicity.
Yeah, them little buffers. I almost was reluctant to watch the show because it felt really Ocean's 11-ish.
That's a bad thing?
No, it's not a bad thing, but I didn't want to watch a TV show that's about a movie that I seen. That's not the movie that I seen, if that makes sense.
I can see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was going to say, we're talking trash about the Ocean's movies because I watched Ocean's 8 and I enjoyed that.
Like if
when
this
Rihanna was behind, was a hacker. I was okay with that.
You're right. But I just figured, like, if I'm going to watch a TV show about a movie, it should be like the TV show, like Ocean's 11 TV show or whatever, however it would be. Okay. But I don't want a TV show that's mimicking the movie just for the sake of making a TV show. But as it went along, it proved to not be that. It was super entertaining. Once I got to the last few episodes, I was just like, wait, where do you go from here? And then I looked at it and I was just like, oh, limited series. We go nowhere from here. So
got you.
Yeah. So I was just like, I was blown away by that because I didn't know it was a limited series, and I was just like, oh, I would really like to see a second season of this. I think there is still availability to do that if they wanted to. I think it is the number one movie on the TV's list right now on Netflix, but it was super entertaining and I did enjoy it.
Would you put it above BMF in your, if it was in the queue and you got to get to one of these shows, like where's it going? In between Tulsa King and this, or?
I'm watching BMF first.
BMF, then Kaleidoscope, then Tulsa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
I'm just saying it sounds rough for Tulsa right about now. All right. That's Kaleidoscope. What's next?
Last but not least, there's one that we both can partake in. Abbot Elementary dropped another episode.
It's about damn time.
It's about time. It's been like 2 weeks, right?
Oh, it's been like 3 weeks. I think it was before Christmas was the last episode.
Yeah, so they probably were just like, we're not doing anything Christmas or New Year's because the viewership would not be down, and then you had the college football playoff. They did do a Christmas one, but it was like well before Christmas.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty dope. So you want to take this one off?
No, by means. I feel like you'd be crushing it. Go for it.
Go ahead and throw it off the glass right quick. Boom. Yeah. So in this episode, which I think is hilarious, I'm gonna go over my favorite scene,
okay.
Which people have already been blowing up. So I kind of can't, like, I'm mad that they got to it before me, but I'm not the social media guru, so I get it. But whatever. So it's a reading competition. For y'all who don't know, that's a dig because I manage our Instagram page. I am not a social media guru.
You could have just kept moving. You did not have to say this.
Joel's hitting me up like, this is not right. You got to do this. So I'm going to get better, y'all. I promise y'all. Don't worry. I'm going to get just as clean as Joel's beard. All right? You see that?
They're going to find out about this episode when we're doing the next episode.
Right.
That's a problem.
That's a problem? All right. Yes. We're going to figure it out. But anyway, there's a book reading competition at Abbot Elementary, and this book reading competition is always won by Melissa. Like, Melissa's literally like walking into the staff lounge with a belt on. It's got like books and bookworms, a pizza, because like whoever wins gets a pizza party, which is kind of funny because the whole school who competes in the reading competition gets a pizza party, but the winner's pizza party just feels that much better. So Melissa's walking around like, I've never lost. I'm not gonna lose.
LeVar Ball never lost.
Yes. And Janine is just really adamant about beating Melissa in the reading competition. She's like formulated a plan. She's changed her scheduling. She's like put stuff in place to make sure that her kids have enough reading time to beat Melissa. And the whole episode is them two going back and forth with calamities that like could take away from their reading numbers, how to increase their reading numbers. But through all of that, Abbott Elementary still stays true to who they are about making sure that they express the needs of kids. So the two moments that stuck out to me the most, one, I'll go with the funniest, because there's this point where Janine really gets tough with Melissa, and she's just like, she starts acting like Melissa. She's like, oh, so what are you going to do? You going to bust me upside my head or something like that? And she's like, you know how Italians be like, kaputs?
Yeah.
She's like, she didn't say kaput. She
said something else, but whatever.
Yeah. something that sounds like kaputs, but it's not kaput. She's like, whatever words you could put that sound like kaputs, that's what she said, but it was not that. And as soon as she said it, in her heels, she went running from
So when she bucked at it first,
yeah,
she did like
she bucked
and
at
Melissa
it.
did not move.
Did not move. It looked like Matt Barnes throwing the ball at Kobe. She did not move. And Janine turned around and was just like, click, 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 click.
Like a smooth 10-second
that
run.
hallway seemed so long. I'm thinking she about to cut a corner. She's still going, click, 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 click.
The best part about that scene is like if you rewatch it, is Barbara's face in the background.
Yes.
Like she's like, she can't believe what she's seeing. And I feel like that part was unscripted.
She's like, you kaputs. Like, oh, you're gonna punch me in the face. You're gonna put it on top of my head with the books. Kaputs. I was like, what? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think the other moment that like really stuck with me is like I said, like through all the comedy, all the entertainment, they still make sure to keep the focus on like what teachers go through all the time, working in a school, working with children, working with families. And Melissa gets to have a parent meeting with one of her students who doesn't read that well, but she wants to win the competition so bad, she starts lying about how many books that she's reading. And sometimes when you're working in a school system or anywhere and you're trying to collaborate with the parents, it doesn't always go the best. And sometimes the parents could be, whether it's reluctant or naive or just downright nasty, whatever it may be, which was not this situation.
I think they were just in denial.
They were just in denial and which is sometimes scary for a parent to hear that like your child may not be at the level where other children are, or like what other things people may be suggesting. That's always a fear of a parent, you know? So they were kind of like in denial, and they were giving Melissa a hard time, and she was trying to explain to him like, hey, if we don't address this, then it could set your child back, and she could end up not liking to read or learn. And then she has this real big moment with the kiddo where she was like, oh, the spelling bee's over, as she's eating pizza, and she's like, oh, I'm so glad it's over. And she was like, well, do you not like reading? She was like, no, I don't, and this has just made it more stressful, which is clearly like through all the adult stuff that we're going through, sometimes we let our adult stuff overshadow what the kids' needs are, and we sometimes put them at a disadvantage based on what we think is best, which is not really best for that child. So I thought it was really dope. They made sure that still happened while still doing all the entertaining stuff as well. It's a really dope episode.
Well, I think like not only that, but like she kind of like levels with her, like at the point of just saying that like, you know, you do have like a bit of a reading disability, but it's like it's okay because not only do you have it, but I also have a reading disability, and like this is a book that helped me get through it, and it's like now I'm passing this book on to you. And it's just like, hopefully, like it'll help you and it'll do like wonders for you, like it did for me. Because like another great thing about that is to give like a tangible example of like how this could be easier or better. It's like someone that she clearly has a lot of love and respect with Melissa and stuff like that. And it's like now she sees like where this could go, where it's like learning or reading can be a bit more fun, like when you know like what the end goal could possibly be, where it's like it won't always be a struggle. And I thought that was pretty dope.
I thought so too. Anything else you want to add? I feel like there weren't many other character introduction. I feel like it was really centered around those three, which was Janine, Melissa, and Jackie.
Who's Jackie?
No, her name's not Jackie.
It's not Jackie.
What's her name?
Barbara?
Barbara, there you go. Hey, how did I get to Jackie? That's crazy.
Because I was trying to think, I was like, Jacob isn't doing anything, right? Or is this like, isn't he doing like some sort of like acting thing or something like that?
Yeah.
Or he has a podcast. That's what it was. The podcast.
Oh, yes. Bring that up because that was hilarious.
But I was going to say the B plot of it was like Jacob was starting a podcast.
Yes.
But like, and he got 2 students to be a part of it.
Yes.
And Gregory finds out that like if you do some sort of extracurricular, like he can get a paid bump or whatever.
I forgot about that.
And so they start this podcast with the kids, but like it becomes pretty apparent that the version of podcast that Jacob listens to is very different than the podcast that the kids listen to. Like he's very much more NPR, they're more Joe Budden.
Yes.
And it's like they want to do more Joe Budden podcasts, but like he's trying to get them to be more NPR. And it's like they have to come to the realization that like this isn't about you. This activity is supposed to be an activity for the kids, and these kids were really, really invested, and they were really, really into it. And you went and cut them out of it, and then they had to.
I like when Gregory was like, "So there's no kids here. Do we still get paid?" He was like, "No." He was like, "Good job. I'm out of here."
Yeah. But it's like, you know, it was that too. But then like we also get the moment at the very end when the kids finally do get to make their own type of podcast, and then they were just like, "Oh, that's kind of crazy," because like Miss, he was like, "My mom said you saw you grinding on."
Let's move on to something. Let's move on to something else. Jacob was like, "No, we would like to hear this."
Right? He's like, "Jacob, this is not appropriate, right?" And he's just like, "I am hands off.
I do not want to take away from the creative ability of these children." I do like the dope fact that they shouted out Joe Button.
Yep.
On the show. I think he reposted it on his Instagram page. Yeah, yeah, just that scene. And they also took a shot at Joe Rogan too.
I think they did too, right?
Yeah. He was like, he was like, we wanted to do a podcast the way we wanted to do it, and here you are trying to like give content that you think only a few people would like, and that it's like really overshadowing other things, and people just don't want to hear it, and it's costly. And he was like, "You tried to Rogan us or something, something like that." I was like, "Oh, they verbed them."
But then, so like we kind of do get this thing where like Gregory finds out that his boy Vince Staples, got in there because then
she tried to shut down the fact that they were dancing by saying, "I went home with so-and-so" or something like that. Yeah. And he was like, "Really?" That man got a little anxious. He got a little anxious. I was like, "Yeah, fam, she's not going to be waiting in the wind for you while you over here with your kid's mom," which I think is very inappropriate. But nobody brought it up.
Let me not while we're
I don't even want to know.
Abbott continues to be Abbott.
There you go.
Is that at the top of your queue? I know it was your number one for your TV shows of the year. So, like, is Abbott still, like, your number one watch right now? Like, out of all these shows that you got on right now?
Yeah, man. Listen, from the first... So, I'm really big on consistency, and you held me down from the gate. And when this first episode ever came out and I watched it, I recommended it to so many people, and they instantly fell in love with the show. And it's just like, when I watch it, not only do I want to be entertained, but I want to be like, the people I recommended to the show need to be entertained as well. And Abbott has not let me down at all.
Like, I know we're kind of in the dead space right now of TV shows. Next, no, what is it? What is today? The 10th? So, like, the 15th, which I think is Sunday.
Yes.
We get our first episode of HBO's The Last of Us, which is like one of the big shows that's getting ready to come out.
I did hear about that. It was a video game.
Yes, and it's an amazing video game, which I had the pleasure, like this past year, like I played through both of the games. It's a very, very amazingly well done story.
Are you gonna tell us what it's about?
I mean, it's a post-apocalyptic story, like
kind of like Walking Dead-ish.
Kind of like this dad kind of like wakes up one night and like all of a sudden like everything's going crazy, and like nobody knows what's going on, and like he just knows that him and his daughter need to escape. I hope this isn't a spoiler. This is literally like the first 5 minutes of the video game. Okay. And like him and his daughter are trying to escape. They pick up his brother and they're on their way out, and they don't know what's going on, but there's so much people. There's people getting attacked. There's people getting into car accidents, and it's like they can see that people are like attacking people. They're like, they don't know what it is. Like they're here listening to the radio, and they're like, is it some sort of gas? Is it this, is that, or whatever? But like all they know is that like we need to get to the military checkpoint. We need to get to the military checkpoint, stuff like that. So like they're moving. He winds up losing his brother in the mass where he's just like, yo, go on ahead, stuff like that. So like he's carrying his daughter to get to the military checkpoint. He finally gets there, and he tells the guy, and he's like, yo, we need to get inside. And like the guy's talking to him, he's like, yo, like, have you been bit? Have you been this? And he's like, no. And then like he gets the call over there, and he's like, yo, there's no more room, exterminate type of deal. And he's like, wait, and the dude shoots him, and like you think he gets shot, but it turns out he hit his daughter, and his daughter is dead. So like the game starts from there, and you pick up like 10 to 15 years in the future, where it's like now they are living with these, they're not zombies, but they're called like clickers. They're like a bit different, but it's essentially zombies, like in a sense. And it's just showing like how he is now like
that was a crazy spoiler. I kind of would have wanted.
It's literally at the first 5 minutes of the game. Like it takes not very long.
That's probably the first 15 minutes of the first episode.
You're probably 100%. And I remember like when I was playing it, I was just like, however they do this opening scene, it's going to be it's going to be one of the best scenes people have ever seen on anything. It's spectacular.
They might even with TV shows, they might maybe form an attachment to the little girl for 3 episodes and then do it in the game.
Episode. She's the main character that you play at first. Like you don't play like she's the one that wakes up in the middle of the night, wakes her dad up.
I watched this show. All right, he didn't tap his head. Did you tap your head?
I did not. I don't give a fuck.
Shoot! Wow,
but
that's where we at.
But
Only 10 days.
so what the actual crux of the show is now the dad is kind of like a smuggler / coyote. Like he gets things to certain places.
Okay.
And he's tasked with bringing this one girl to an organization known as the Fireflies, which are people aren't really sure like if they're like a radical group or like what they are, but they're pretty anti-establishment. And like he's trying to figure out why is it so important? Like he keeps wanting to drop the girl. Like he's just like, she's the same age as like his daughter. Like he doesn't want anything to do with her. And then what he does come to find out is she is immune to the virus. And that's what the whole crux of it is like, why are you immune? How come like, you don't have like, there's these things called spores, which is kind of like, just imagine like a fungi or like a mushroom like in that corner, and it's like if you breathe that in, like you immediately turn into like a zombie type of deal. And it's like, so they wear gas masks and stuff like that. Like they're like, oh, there's this building's full of spores, so they'll wear gas masks. But something happens and her gas mask breaks, and he's like, oh, like you're about to turn, and he's about to body her, and he's like, why aren't you turning? And then it's like it comes that whole thing, and then it's that journey of like him trying to get her to this place because like you need her to develop the cure.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
The dad is going to be played by my boy Pedro Pascal, who some of you might know as Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper from Game of Thrones, or you might know him from Narcos, or you might know him now as Mando from The Mandalorian.
There you go, right there.
But the girl who plays young Ellie, do you know where she's from? Like, I don't know if you've seen her.
No, I haven't even seen the clip.
Okay. She is Lady Mormont from Game of Thrones, the little bear. I don't know if you remember, but the young girl queen of the North that backs Jon Snow. She plays Ellie. And I was like, let's go.
Okay.
I'm going to let you know right now, if this show is anything like these games, it's going to be one of the best shows to hit TV, and it's going to hit the feels, bro.
Sure, we're not going to get 8 seasons of Walking Dead and then 2 spinoffs.
Listen, apparently there's the creator of the first 2 games has said recently, like, there's a little bit more story that they could get into to make The Last of Us 3 the video game. Ooh. So, but like to me, like I doubt if there is no video game, because like the games themselves have pretty solid endings where it's like that's the way you can end a show. So like I don't think we're gonna go the Walking Dead route because like the Walking Dead, like it was a comic and it's like the comic is still ongoing, so there is no end to that. But it's like there is an actual end to the life, and it's a doozy. Like when you get to
it's a doozy. It's a doozy.
I was playing it last year and it was rough in my room. I'm just gonna say that it was a
doozy.
It was a doozy. I was like,
so what you doing here? Just playing video games.
I was like, yo, and like I literally walked out and he was like, yo, how was it? And I was like, it's got to be one of the greatest video games ever made, bro. And that's all I said, and I just kept walking. I was like, it's got to be. I was like, it's got to be.
All right, we'll check for it. All right.
That's like the main thing. Like I think that's on the slate of shows getting ready to come back. But I know we got Wu-Tang, Snowfall, stuff like that. But it's like I know that this Sunday Snowfall, is the first episode of Last of Us.
50 Verses coming back around the corner. There's something in February. I can't remember what it is.
Is that Wu-Tang?
Wu-Tang may be February.
I know there's a lot of movies in February. Like that's where we're getting Ant-Man and stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. What you want to do? You want to jump into Popcorn Poppy? Or you want to separate this up?
Oh, come on, we gotta separate it, man. We got to.
All right. So
check you guys in part 2 where we're gonna hit the Popcorn Poppy. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. If there's any TV shows that we should be watching, like I know we're gonna get to White Lotus. Maybe Succession.
And I'm starting Succession this week.
You are starting Succession?
Yes.
Why not White Lotus?
I forgot about that one, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, I'll watch White Lotus. You watch Succession, then we'll compare notes.
All right. How about we both do one episode and then we decide if it's worth watching?
Ooh, I'm not a 1 episode worther.
3?
I'm a 3 episoder.
All right, we'll do 3.
I know that like White Lotus is definitely shorter. Like it's only like 6-7 episodes. And like Succession has like the full 10.
Okay. So let's do 3 and 3. Commit to 6 episodes.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
We're going to see.
All right, we're going to holler at y'all.
Part 2.
You got it?